During last night's regular monthly meeting, members of the La Follette City Council voted against removing the 500 feet distance requirement between retail stores selling beer and schools and churches. Mayor Mike Stanfield cast the deciding vote to break a 2-2 tie. Councilman Hansford Hatmaker had made a motion to reject amending the city beer code, and Bob Fannin seconded the motion. Council members casting votes in favor of changing the beer code and doing away with the buffer zone were Stephanie Grimm and Joe Bollinger. Earlier during the meeting, Dr. Dwayne Mills, pastor of the First Baptist Church of La Follette, took the floor to give an impassioned plea for the council not to relax the distance requirement and therefore increase the density of alcohol availability in the downtown area. Another major development during last night's meeting was an announcement that a Bojangles famous chicken and biscuits restaurant is coming to La Follette this year along Jacksboro Pike near the Pizza Hut and movie theater. Franchisee Michael White, who was present to give the details. That includes plans to be open by the end of December and hire up to 80 employees to start out. In order to move forward on construction, White said he needs to have an 18-acre tract of property configured to a square shape for better traffic flow around the building. He would like for the City of La Follette and HMA Tenova, which jointly own a piece of adjacent property, to release the easement around the Bojangles property so that it can be reconfigured to take on the new square shape. Fannin suggested that City Administrator Billy Russell and City Attorney Reed Troutman work with Mark Kane, CEO of Tenova's La Follette Medical Center, to find a solution that is beneficial to all parties involved. In other business last night, the council approved Gary Bird as roofing inspector, approved a recreational trails grant match of in-kind services, approved a Safe Partners with a matching grant resolution through the TML Risk Management Pool, and approved an in lieu of taxes resolution for La Follette Utilities. The Campbell County Board of Education, meeting a week earlier than usual due to a conflict next week for Director Donnie Poston, concluded its business in barely a half hour and adjourned Tuesday night with a new board chairman. Rector Miller was elected chairman by a 6-3 vote. After being the only person nominated for the job, outgoing chairman Josh Parker missed the meeting while Scott Hill, Homer Rutherford, and Mike Orrick all voted no on Miller's nomination by fellow 1st District member Danny Wilson. Vice Chairman Johnny Creekmore was re-elected a second term by a vote of 8-1, with Orrick again voting no. While the board was somewhat divided on who would serve as chairman, they were all unanimous in their praise for Jacksboro Elementary School Principal Joan Crutchfield and her staff and students after the school received recognition from the state as a reward school, ranking among the top 5% among all schools in the state. Director Donnie Poston made a presentation to Crutchfield at the beginning of the meeting. Reading a congratulatory message from the governor's office signed by the Commissioner of Education, the board concluded its business by quickly approving the list of coaches and volunteer coaches and hearing a report from Poston on teacher-pupil ratios throughout the system. All schools are in compliance with state requirements. Poston reported and Campbell County reported a total increase of 108 students the year over the same year as last year. Another search warrant served the man who has been dubbed as the Valley drug kingpin has led to the discovery of a weapon. Officers with the Campbell County Sheriff's Department and the 8th Judicial Drug Task Force served another search warrant, the third in less than a month, and on the so-called Valley Kingpin, 52-year-old Kermit York. This search warrant was served on York's safety deposit box at the Commercial Bank in Speedwell. The search yielded a .38 caliber revolver inside York's safety deposit box. Officers with the Campbell County Sheriff's Department were at York's home on Ivy Hollow Road twice in August, serving search warrants both times. Among the items seized were U.S. currency, oxycodone, morphine, hydrocodone, marijuana, and a firearm. They were all discovered inside with 23 vehicles, including a Corvette and Harley Davidson. Sheriff Robbie Goins tells WLAF that York, who is a convicted felon with no employment, is believed to be one of Campbell County's largest sellers and distributors of illegal narcotics. York was last booked into the county jail in the summer of 2005. Although York has not been arrested during the recent raids, the sheriff is likely going to wait and turn all the evidence over to the grand jury. The Ken Bruce Memorial Highway was dedicated Tuesday afternoon with the unveiling of official signage along a stretch of the 4-lane in front of Campbell County High School. Members of the Bruce family were joined by State Senator Ken Yeager and State Representative Dennis Powers, as well as members of the community. Bruce, an assistant principal at Campbell County High, was killed during a tragic school shooting November 8, 2005. Senator Yeager and Representative Powers read aloud an official state proclamation designating the thoroughfare as Ken Bruce Memorial Highway. Both legislators were instrumental in getting the highway name for Bruce, a La Follette native who had dedicated his life to the service and helping educate and prepare students for life beyond high school. And Senator Ken Yeager and Representative Dennis Powers stopped by WLAF Studios here on North 5th Street in La Follette yesterday afternoon to hand deliver a proclamation by the Tennessee Senate honoring the radio station for our 60th anniversary. 60 years on the air. Senator Yeager attributed WLAF's success over the past 6 decades to a strong community network and a dedication to report the news. And that's a look at the news today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back with the press release from the Campbell County Sheriff's Department. And 10 people have been arrested and booked into the Campbell County Jail in the past 24 hours. Monica C. Chadwell, 39 of South 16th Street, La Follette, for domestic assault on a capious bench warrant, possession of a Schedule 6 controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. 56-year-old Robert E. Chadwell of South 16th Street, La Follette, for habitual motor vehicle offender, possession of a Schedule 6 controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Jordan Thomas Dunworthy, 18 of Brook Place Lane in La Follette, for vandalism over $1,000 and vandalism. 27-year-old Brittany Ellis of Jacksboro for meth charges, a stolen vehicle, and public intoxication. Christy L. Hill, 39, of Wildwood Circle, La Follette, for public intoxication. 54-year-old Glenn Tyrone Howard of Frontier Lane in La Follette for violation of probation and on a capious bench warrant. Doug Nicholas Johnson, 25, of Landmark Road in Jacksboro for aggravated assault. 25-year-old Brandon Victor Phillips of Lakemont Lane in Caravel on 2 capious bench warrants. Michelle Snyder, 28, of Red Cedar Road, La Follette, for theft of property under $500. And last today, 52-year-old Joe Russell Taylor Jr. of Joy Lane in Jacksboro for violation of probation and third offense of driving while revoked, violation of the Tennessee financial law, following too closely, and violation of the child restraint law. And that's the news for today. Thank you for joining us. We'll look for you back here again tomorrow, and we'll bring you once again the latest Campbell County news.